Welcome back to the Hustle by Hannah, where we go beyond the headlines to uncover the grit, generosity, and ground game behind extraordinary lives. Today's guest is Sydney Eskenazi, a man whose name is etched into the very fabric of Indiana. Born into hardship, Sid started working early, an experience that forged his legendary work ethic and sense of responsibility. A chance encounter led to the creation of one of the world's largest property management organizations in the world. Later, he started his own firm, only to be forced out by his partners. But what looked like a setback became the turning point. Sid fused law and real estate to build Sandor Development, now one of the largest privately held commercial real estate firms in the country, with over 70 properties in 23 states and more than 8 million square feet under management. What truly defines Sid isn't just business success, it's what he's done with it. Sid and his wife Lois have supported more than 100 organizations, funded over 200 scholarships, and given millions of dollars to landmark donations across the state of Indiana. This episode is about more than just giving back. It's about living forward. Sid's story is one of early hustle, quiet resilience, and the legacy of lifting others up. At 95 years old, he's still working, he's still giving back, and he's still determined on building his legacy. Let's get into it.
I was born in 1930. I graduated from grade school, school 22, getting ready to go to Manual High School on Monday. I walked in the door and there was a man there. He said, "I've got to tell you something." I said, "What is it?" He said, "Your father's dying." 13 years old at that point. And I said, "What can we do?" He said, "We can't do anything. We need penicillin and civilians can't buy it. I don't know how to get it." He said, "He will die today from lack of penicillin." So a few hours later, I saw him again. He said, "Your father's passed away." One day, we would start sitting Shiva for a week. A week later, I started at Manual High School. I needed a job, and he agreed to put me on and let me work every day after school, Saturdays, sometimes even Sundays. And he paid me 25 cents an hour. In those days, a penny in, and you turned a crank. And if you're lucky, you got a little charm or something. I was to take that machine, empty it, clean it out real well. That's what I was earning, 25 cents, but I went to work every day. And I liked working. It wasn't a hardship. I just didn't get good grades.
Did you work because you had to or genuinely because you wanted to?
The government gave us $17 per person Social Security. That was it. I had two sisters, me and my mom, who barely spoke English. And every time I worked, Social Security would notify me that I had to pay back what they'd given me previously. Those were the rules. There were just the four of us living on Kansas Street in that house. And I worked because everybody in our neighborhood worked. I enjoyed being with people and learning and doing things and getting paid for it. Mm-hmm. But I had to get paid for it if I wanted any spending money of my own. In the beginning, I was the attorney for Love and Simon and Associates. I set up the legal work, all the documents to incorporate them. And what I learned for myself was later on by watching what he did, how he did it, figuring I better do some of this myself. And I went after him, telling him that he had agreed that I was to participate in some of his ventures with him. And so far, he hadn't done it. And one day he came to me and said, okay, you keep wanting to be involved. I'm going to do a Kmart and I'm going to let you be a part of it. I said, what's a Kmart? He said, I don't know. He says, but it's something that the Kresge company was doing. I had no idea. I said, what do they do? He says, they're a discount store. I go, what's a discount store? I've never seen anything like that. But he didn't care and cost us about $1.2 million to build it. We borrowed about $1 million here or less to build it. We had a few dollars left over from the loan, and that's what we got for our services. We split that. I got my half, and he got half. We went on to do another one.
Was it extremely risky to do something like that in the beginning?
I went to the people I wanted to loan me money with a plan. They knew from having worked with Mel previously that we knew what we were doing because I was in all of the meetings with the bank and so on and so forth. And I explained to them exactly how we knew. We knew what our costs were. We knew what our rent was going to be. Now, could we make mistakes? Yes, of course you can, but we were lucky in the beginning. And Mel was very astute at what he did. And I watched what he did and I learned from him. I liked what I did too. I like dealing with people. I still do to this day. I will still help people if I can.
What about after that first big deal with Mel and starting your own business?
She was going into building the huge malls, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to build things and rent them out, own them, and get the income so my family and I had money to live on. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to build monuments. I didn't want to sell everything that I had. I just wanted to make income so we could live decently. And that's what I did. I probably was instrumental in building 15 or 18 Kmarts.
Did you have to get a loan for that
I
project?
always had to get a loan.
And did people trust you
Well,
because of your experience with Mel?
I'd go back to the same banks that I worked with Mel, and they knew that I knew what I was doing. And sometimes I would sit and talk to them about what they should be doing a little bit better. He came to me and told me that wanted me to understand there was no more room in the business for me. He was bringing in his family from New York and all of the people that he went to school with in New York. And I said, but you promised. He said, well, can't help it. Want to be our attorney? You can be our attorney. I have to have something where I know the money won't be there to help pay me, to help take care of my kids. I said, I'll just start all over again. That was a whole new way. I started a law firm all over again. I had partners in the law firm. It was not a very good experience.
Was it a big shift? And did you have to learn new skills for that?
Found people that I knew, offered them something that I hadn't been offered before, a full participation in what I was doing. The first fellow I took in, I said, I'm going to let you have 25% of the business because everything in here is mine, the books, the tables, everything. It's all my stuff. We were all ready to keep going. And he said, well, I have a friend who's my closest friend. I said, all right, I'll give him 25% too. So that's 50%. And I'll keep 50%, which I did. But as time went on, the first 25%, it was okay. The second 25% person did not know what he was doing, how to run a law practice, how to get clients, how to charge. They kept saying to me they wanted me to keep giving out more of what I owned in the partnership because they brought in more people and they all wanted a piece of the deal. And there's only 100% of something. I was leaving the office one day on the end of a week. All of my partners stopped me at the back door. And I said, what's going on? He says, dude, we have to talk to you. It's Friday afternoon. How about wait till Monday? Now, you understand, I'd given away 80% of my business. It was my business. I started it. I kept it going. I also included some of them in what I was building. Not all of them, and maybe, but there's only so much in 100%. So we've had a partners meeting, okay, and we want you out. I said, what do you mean you want me out? We don't want to be partners with you any longer.
Wow.
We want you out of here. I said, so you're going to take over the business that I've given you. You're going to start your own, all of you, and you don't appreciate what I've done for you. No, we want you out. We want you out in a week by next Friday. We want you out. Well, I was pretty devastated. I said, there's only one problem. He said, what's that? I said, I own the building.
Wow.
You get out. They all left me with an empty building, except for me and my little cubbyhole office, my books and stuff like that.
Did that fuel you to build something bigger than before?
I had to start all over again.
Exactly.
They walked out on me, but luckily for me, I still had some clients in my law practice, and I still had some stuff I was doing with the building I was doing, and I still didn't give all of it away. They made a big mistake saying that to me. It was a terrible mistake on their part, but I'm glad they did it. Now, that's probably one of the really bad deals.
What was the first big deal by yourself that you were really proud of?
What happened was we got married, we had nothing. Every time the Shortridge band would play in the morning real early, we would wake up because we had an efficiency apartment. I mean, there was just a bed in the corner and a bathroom. And my wife was working at the IU Health Center, and I was trying to build up my practice. But living together in just one room all the time, the kitchen, the bathroom, everything was there. And it got real bad when she wanted to bring somebody home from the office. Where'd I go? They'd say, well, you can sit in the toilet room. And that was okay until somebody else wanted to use the toilet. Then I had to go sit in the hallway. This just isn't going to work. I need to know what I'm doing. And so I decided to buy a house with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, full-size garage, big kitchen, big lot, just absolutely gorgeous. And I went to the builders and said, I want to buy one of them. And how much is it? And he said, well, I'll sell you one. I think it was close to $25,000. I said, I'll buy it. But I'm going to have to get some money from the banks. I went to the bank and I said to him, I need to borrow some money. Well, how much do you need to borrow? I said, oh, about 24,000. Well, you don't earn enough money. What do you mean I don't earn enough money? I think it was $100 a week that I had to have an income coming in to do this. I said, just hold on. I said, give me a week to see what I could do. And I thought on. Called him and said, you know what? I had the best thing happen to me. I said, I had a client that just put me on retainers for $100 a week. Oh, he says, now we can
Give you the
give you the
loan.
loan. And we lived there and loved it. Our first child was born and lived in that house.
I'm sure you were very proud of that too, being able to build something for your family, and
Well,
it's your hard work paying off. Are there any types of characteristics you think in building the business that aren't so obvious to everyone else?
I try to teach people we've got to earn a profit. Just to and make noise about how much money you're bringing in doesn't mean anything unless it's profitable. There's got to be something left for you to have. And if it's not profitable, it's not worth going into. As far as I was concerned, we need to work to earn money, and we're still doing it today.
Why do you do it better than your competitors?
Don't say I do. Just say I also do. They can do what they do. And they're thinking about going into the real estate business. What did I think? And I'd always told them, there's plenty of room in this country for other people. Go on, jump in, get your feet wet.
You're focused on your business and your success, and they can be focused on theirs, and you can both have success in your individual ways.
As long as everything's honest and you treat people fairly. But I enjoy working. I still work every day.
Well, what keeps you working every day today?
What else am I going to do? Watch TV?
No.
Come on now. That's not working.
You've given what's known as the single largest donation in Indiana state history, a $40 million donation to create the Eskenazi Hospital. What was your first donation that you gave?
That first deal, when we finished building it and closed the loan on it, we had money left over and we each took our halves. And I was thinking about what I should do with the money I had. And that was the first time I went to Indiana University to talk to them. I told them that I had this money. I wanted to do something. I wanted to help kids get through school with scholarships. It was a considerable amount of money. It was in excess of, I think, $25,000 each. I said, here's what we'll do. We'll set up an endowment and make it so that we're going to help kids with scholarships. But you can't spend everything. You can take the endowment, earn money with it. Half of the money you earn, you have to put back into the endowment so it will grow. And the other half we can use to give scholarships to kids.
You have Eskenazi Health, and you were just talking previously about a lot of your other philanthropic gifts. Which one are you most proud of?
I think the hospital. This hospital will take care of many, many, many people for a long period of time and keep them from saying it hurts. If I can help someone not say it hurts, I said I feel very comfortable with that. I was just amazed at the way the place looks and it's clean and got all the people walking through there and they don't have much in the way of means. I don't know if you've ever experienced real pain, but that's all you think about. It hurts, hurts. You don't want it to hurt. I don't want anybody to have real pain, but we're in a world where it will happen. There's pain out there. And I'm grateful for having been picked to help with that hospital and to help people lessen their pain.
That's incredible. I think more people need to give back.
It's important.
How do you help young people today if they come to you for advice? What type of advice do you give them to continue to keep going when times are troubled like now?
You got to tell them they've got to find things and learn to work it so that they can do something that help their families. And they also should think somewhat about paying back. And we always preach that. You got to pay back a bit, give back. You want to give back. I'm a kid from the wrong side of Indianapolis, working in poor neighborhood with poor people, and was always seeing some help. My father and uncle gave to charity at times when during the Depression. You're talking about how much did they give? They give a quarter, 50 cents.
But they always gave, which is important.
There's no question about it. We always help people.
What do you think is the best skill that young leaders, entrepreneurs can have today to find success? Besides working hard and giving back, is there something else you see in young people that you can point to and say they're going to do well?
I'm going to tell you the secret. I'm not asking you to pay me, buy it, or anything. I'm going to give you the exact secret of how you can be successful. You've got to learn to live below your means. You cannot spend everything you earn. You've got to know how to keep some of it for yourself, your family, and to help others.
You've had the ability to give back, and you've done it through the arts. You've done it with a hospital. You've done it with many mentorships and just being who you are. And I think that's something that everyone can look up to.
It's not that I was required to do it, or not because someone expected me. This is the help you should be doing. Whatever it is, I have to make sure I pick the right ones. For me. May not be for you, but for me. And then I have one other thing. I get in trouble, I'm going to go to my best friend and find out what to do. You know where I go? I go right into the bathroom. You know why? Because there's a mirror there. And I look in that mirror and I say to that person, this is the problem. What should I be doing? They answer me pretty good. He answers me pretty good, or she, whatever. That mirror will not lie to me or tell me what I know in my heart I should be doing.
It's trusting yourself and knowing that you're accountable for your own actions and your life.
I don't regret anything I've done. Have I made mistakes? Yes. Have I done some things wrong? Yes. Have I tried to hurt anybody? No. Could I have done something that might have made me hurt somebody? Maybe. But that's life.
I think it's important to share experiences and true values that you've shared. I really do want to thank you. I know we've done this before, and I think it exemplifies that you are so willing to do interviews like this. And it's something that I hope
anytime I can, or need some, or even if you have a little cobweb in your head, quite know how to handle the problem, I would be happy to help you. There's nothing involved with it. I mean, it's just two people talking. So you do the best you can with what you have, and that's all you can do.
And that's what we're going to continue to do. You have an incredible legacy that I think anyone would be lucky to come in contact with.